personal marketing. That's what we're discussing.
Love
And the thing is, we've talked about this in the past. We've gone through what's in app files. But I think it's something that needs a constant reminder, because it's kind of like going to school and taking a class. Until you put what you're taught into action, it just goes poof, and short-term memory disappears. So here's what we're talking about. Personal marketing. What resources do we have? It's not just Canva. These are just a couple of pops, but you know, you have resources. I happen to pay for Canva for us, and it's expensive, but it's a neat program. And you can do a lot with it. How about various companies that will market you, like Minuteman Press, Vistaprint, you know, all of the other firms that even do our marketing for all of these wonderful things, you know. But
Marketable.
yeah, Marketable, that's all I can come out with. Thanks. Just call me Biden. Don't, can't stop. Anyway. Geo. Yeah,
There you go.
there you go. Geo marketing, farming. These are the things we're gonna talk about. Geo, of course, geographic marketing. And digital, websites, social media. This is, I'm gonna get Joey to talk a bit more about at the end here. We're also talking about just our networking, our sphere of influence. And I realized that on some of these things, as I went through them, it's like, well, what does Canva do for you if we're using some of these personal marketing? And the fact of the matter is, yeah, you know, you can do full presentations. It's definitely a good spot to run your videos and social media, and you can break these things down, right, Joey? And use them. You can run free templates. Of course, you can spend more and get pro. But we already have a logo. We have so many of these things that you can just plug and play with, that it makes it nice for doing these things. And have you guys ever looked at, and I've got to remember the percentage of additional hits you get when you have a video up of your listing, but it's significantly higher. Just like if you have 50 pictures versus 10 or 12, the chances of it getting hits online go up. I think it's like 80%. It's dramatic.
Wow.
It's really dramatic. But
Canva is something we have as a brokerage?
we do have it, and you can talk to Leah about seeing if we can have access to it that way. But you can also buy it yourself. There are these options. So,
Or you can wait till my portion, then you can get
there you go. That's what we'll do for sure.
it.
So how about other companies that you can use for this? Like Minuteman Press. All right, so let's talk about examples. Minuteman Press. These are some of the cards that I've done. So one of the ones I do once a month, it's $500. I send this out, and it's a market update. And I had it where I was saying, I've done these where it's like, I'll buy your house, I'll sell it in 90 days, all these various things. Which I would do based on certain caveats, of course. There has to be an asterisk there with see attached list of caveats, but with this one, I made it, excuse me, drinking coffee, I'm just killing myself. But I made this very simple. It's thinking of selling, I'd be honored to assist you and provide more information. And then, I mean, imagine this, looking around our room right now, attentive, resourceful, market experience that benefits you. No gimmicks, just proven results. I just tried for simple. I kept drawing lines through things, and it still seems busy to me. But it works. And that works. Have I gotten calls on this? No. Here's another one I did, market update. We tried again. We lost the frame that goes around this one. This one stands out better. That's the same on this. The back's the same. I tried to make the front less busy. It didn't help.
Now, where did you get your market update data?
MLS.
You just grabbed some houses around that area that you did and then sent it out to, is that a very specific area?
This, yeah,
That's,
this is,
yeah.
let's
'Cause
go.
when you're saying $500,
Let's go
it's-
geo market,
Yeah.
marketing and farming. So I'm sending them out to about an 800 to 1,000 target homes. On this, what I'm hitting, is my community, River Point, Riverdale, Hawks Island, the inlets, the reserve areas behind that of the harbors, and then kicking over into, what's the other community that goes underneath the interstate? Come on, guys.
No, it's Harbor Isles there.
No,
No,
it's not coming out of my head. Hold, we'll get there. Or we won't, because these are all not from that area. Anyway,
That area.
I know it's community. talk.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, wow.
Because I'm thinking Harbor
That
Isles.
one,
'cause I
no, the
remember-
one that's got the condos that are,
Yeah.
that look over, no, that look over the water.
I know exactly what you're talking
On
about.
that side.
I literally have sold houses.
And then you drive.
You drive around the bridge
And
and then
it's
there's
got all that
a
right
whole
Yeah.
pond out there.
Yeah.
I
But
thought it
anyway,
was Harbor Isles. Guess I was wrong.
this is the one that I put out when we did our broker.
Yep.
I still have some of these,
Mhm.
and the fact of the matter is, why would we not use these if we're even door knocking or whatever? They're free, we have them.
Yeah.
No,
Now,
no
have you been
problem.
using, the same company or have you been doing this in-house?
This is all going to Minuteman Press,
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
because, they've just done it all for me for so long and they make it easy.
And they send them out from their place too?
They do the direct mail, they do everything.
Well, it's a geo-marketing on your,
Well,
you can
yes,
do it on Vistaprint too. You
yes,
can literally
and no,
buy.
but I'm not doing full zip code. I'm
Mhm.
doing communities, so I'm making them dig down deeper. Because I want this community within that zip code.
Right.
Mhm.
That's harder.
Yeah.
So now it's not just every door direct,
Right.
it's, we're sending them to this target list.
Got it,
So I have target lists.
got it.
That's what I'm doing. And then, of course, when you list properties,
Hmm.
again, picture people sorting these over the trash can and the
Yeah.
garage and what might catch their attention. None of this is gonna catch anybody's attention until they're ready to market. And then they'll go, oh, well, look, hey, that's our neighbor. That's great. Maybe we'll work with them. Says the same thing as what I've done on everything else. I'm
Right.
trying to repeat it
Yeah.
and repeat it and repeat it.
Mhm.
The thing I didn't like about this card is, again, it broke the view,
Your
the
flow.
form, the flow.
Yeah.
This is what we're now doing.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Back in format.
Mhm.
I got much more heavily involved in this one than I did in this one. And, even to the caliber of photo,
Mhm.
I thought for sure this would come through nicely. It's really nice when the guys tell you, look, if you email me the picture,
Mhm.
it's gonna come out like this.
Mhm.
If you have your photographer drop off the actual, whatever it is, of the photo, what is it, Joey? Yeah, the PNG, whatever it is, yeah, the SD card, but anyway, it'll come out like that. Interesting stuff. How about trying to put too much on the card or thinning the card down?
Depending on what you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, this came out very nice and this I have gotten a few calls on already. Even though I saw nobody else got a listing down the street, which one, yeah, but it's okay. How about with the same photographer that did this thing, Mark Adele did this one?
Yep.
This guy charges us, what, $350 to do everything he does. These folks charge $1,000.
Mhm.
Not the Minuteman Press, but the different marketing folks. So, that was like Blue Burgers.
Right, and I sent you the guys that do Matterport drone and
Mhm.
photos for like $350.
Yep, and that's what Mark's doing now too.
Yeah.
So he's doing the drone and he's doing iGuide. So I think that, again, personal marketing, this is personal marketing. People may say, no, you're marketing the house. You're always marketing yourself. Everything you do is showing the caliber of what you do. One of those where you come out and go, hey, I got the best photographer in town. Say it, whether you think you do or not. Well, whether they think you do or not. I have the best photographer in town. They do the best caliber all the time. And you'll see the difference in what we did. How about, some people do Matterport. He's doing an iGuide. And, some folks were trying to say that this would be a darker, less caliber product. It's not. And, it not only does, yeah, it's beautiful. They put a camera in the middle of the
Yeah,
room.
and they
And
get
do
all
a
the
360.
measurements, yeah.
So they do that. They run all the measurements for you.
Oh, that's wild.
And of course, the square footage isn't going to agree with the county. You go with the county on square footage. This is actual inside of each wall square footage. So true square footage of a home is, includes the walls. And then, of course, they tell you all the definitions and how they do it. But this is marketing.
And does he do Matterport too?
No, he does iGuide.
Okay.
What do
So
you charge for iGuide?
I think this last time, I think I paid him like $300 for everything drone, on down, and I had him do drone video. Because I wanted the drone video of
Yeah,
coming up the canal, coming up the canal, I wanted him to come up the boat ramp, which apparently was tricky because of trees now. And go to the house, go back up in the air and do a 360 down on the house. So it's just a nice one to be able to put out there. So this is all personal marketing that comes through these various companies, right? You can also go through LinkedIn. But the other things to think about, guys, you have a closing. I mean, let's not stop with our marketing. Doesn't have to be this stuff. It can be something you do. This is what the office has. So now our mugs actually do have the QR codes that work, which is a plus. I think that these are very nice caliber, because Joey told me I had to go with a nicer one.
Oh, sorry.
You know, a key ring.
Yeah, the floater thing. What are they called? I don't know what they're called, but
What's a
yeah.
floater?
So yeah, it's a boat float thingy.
Yeah, we have regular pens, or we have the very nice pens. We're not gonna leave these out for people to
Yeah.
just grab and take, but this is really nice to hand to people because it feels totally
Yes.
different in your hand, right? It's a nice pen. How about simple things? They need the pen, then they need a notepad. I mean, people will take these things. Every now and then you'll have somebody hand you back the marketing pieces like this, where they're like, we just can't have any more.
Right,
logos."
I have too many mugs. I have too many mugs.
Okay. That's okay, but, you know.
It's funny, I've had two people.
What about coasters?
Yeah,
People use them.
yeah.
They'll throw them away when they get soggy, fine.
I literally had
They
two
work.
people see mine and they're like, where's my swag? And I was like, I had no idea you want something like this. And so I'm actually today, I'm gonna be grabbing a couple.
What we do is the full swag bag, and it has all of these things in here. Along with some candy and business cards and stuff. But at a closing, I think this is like $35. And that's cost. We're not trying to make money on these things. It's just here you go. And then you have a kid that goes, can I have one too? And you're like, crap. But anyway, how about personal marketing? Since we're talking about printers and things, this of course came through oh gosh, Markle. I keep confusing that with Bob, with Dolda Sign, because he still does a nice job on some things for us, for sure. But at what point do we put sale pending on a sign? This is marketing, right? We're talking about companies, but this is marketing. Do we leave it without having it up? Do we want the calls that come in and say, is that property still available?
I
Sorry,
got so many of those.
sorry, it just went into contract. At some point, you want to switch to this. It depends on what you're going after, right? If you want buyers, don't put this up. They won't call you. If you want sellers, put this up as quickly as you can, because they're going, wow, that went fast. So actually, I need to change one myself today.
Yeah, I felt like I got more
That was
leads
slow.
for not putting a sign up on my one duplex than I had going to any open houses.
Mhm.
I had like 5 buyers.
Yeah.
Looking to buy.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're actually, what are you looking for? I can help you in here.
Absolutely.
It's so
And
interesting.
you have to be able to roll though, right? And continue to market. So use these things. How about LinkedIn? I mean, people just blow off LinkedIn and it's like, no, that's a huge avenue for reaching other professionals. Am I in it? Am I commenting on it all the time? No, hardly ever. So, I mean, we should probably as a team even sit down and go, okay, if we're gonna do all of these things, maybe we should have a day where we all get in the office and we say, have you done your LinkedIn post? Have you done this post? Copy mine, do this, switch it to yours, whatever. I think it would help, okay? And or you hire somebody to do these things for you. So you need to showcase your value. You guys, this is so important though. People don't realize, they're like, oh, I'm showing off. No, you're showcasing your value. And this is where you create your foundation, and include what our office calls Army, right? Which is, again, if you look around the office, wait a minute, what's A stand for? Resourceful, market experience, and
Your.
it's on the wall.
I know, I'm trying to.
Your lifestyle, yes, but that's your elevator speech too, right? We've talked about this. If you get on an elevator with somebody and you can't do this in a very timely manner, like 2 minutes or less, you miss that opportunity. you might get another opportunity. But on the other hand, you might be talking to somebody that's in flip-flops and cutoffs and a tank top that's worth millions. That was just really interested in you until you couldn't talk business to them in any reasonable format. And they were like, yeah, there's somebody better.
Good
out
guy.
there. Yeah, nice.
Nice guy.
Bless his
Let's
heart.
talk.
There it is.
Let's
Yeah,
say
that's usually the guy in blue jeans and cowboy boots. Bless it. So showcase what you do. What talents and abilities do you have, right? These are things that make you different and special to your buyers and sellers. You got to be different. If you're the same as everybody else, why would somebody not go to whoever is the cheapest? And we're not. Simple.
Yeah.
Army, here you go. 4 basic foundation principles of what our office stands for, which is attentive. And this again, your elevator speech, right? This is so simple, guys, an elevator speech. Look, why should we work with you? Well, let me just tell you about our 4 foundations, the principles of our company. We're attentive. It's never about our opinion. Instead, it's focused on your desires and what we can do for you. We have market experience. We've got over 30 years of real estate experience in our office, actually way more than that. But if we start saying 60 years, people question us. But you know, if we have way more, we have tons of experience, and we're the best positioned to offer guidance to our clients. Isn't that what you're really looking for? And gosh, we're resourceful. I mean, we're not trying to say we have it all, but you know what? We have a vast network of resources. If our clients need it, want it, don't know it, we have it, can get it, or hey, we know it. These are the things. But oftentimes people need to hear that we can get it. We're resourceful enough to get it if we don't know it and we don't have it. Okay. So that's a big part of being resourceful. People think I got to know it all. No, you don't, but you got to be able to get it promptly. And you can't say, oh, I'm not sure about that, but I'll get back to you on it on everything they ask you. Or yeah, you don't know your inventory. You don't know what you're doing yet. That's what comes across. Okay. And that bugs me. And I'm taking it to inventory because of car lots. It drives me nuts when I have a salesman come out and they're looking on their phone. Do we have that? I don't know. Let me look. It's like, okay. Can you tell me about what's in this car? No. Can you tell me about your lifestyle? Again, it's back to the elevator speech. All being said, we're able to guide you in fulfilling your dream the way you want to live it. That's why it's your lifestyle, your way. That's what we stand for. What do you think? Would we be able to help you with anything? Are you looking at buying or selling in the next 30 or 60 days? We'd love to help you. Lead it into a question. If you don't ask the question, oh, by the way, here's my card or here's my link and various things that we can do. I haven't done that one yet, but anyway, electronic business cards are really cool too. And you've got their data then, which is phenomenal. App files, coaching and education, personal marketing guide. Please go back and review our guide for personal marketing and apply it. And what you're going to find with this right now is it's the student one that I have posted because I was doing trainings on that when you guys were new agents. And I do this for new agents. I leave them blank because guess what? That makes them think a little more. They got to write a little bit and they'll fill it in. Right now, I think that you can go through this personal marketing guide and fill in the blanks yourself. If you can't, come ask me what that blank should be and I'll help you with it. Okay. So create a budget. This is huge. Don't go into life or anything without knowing your budgets. Don't bury yourself with expensive marketing that doesn't create a return. Your return on investment's everything in this business and in what we do in life. If we don't have a return on that budget, of course, I say in life, if we're tithing, if we're giving things to the Lord, that's different. The return on investment is eternal. It's not just this. But in this kind of thing in business, we need to know our budget. And here's the quickest way to get telemarketers off the phone. Ring. Hey, I have the best product in the world. Let me show you how it works. Is it totally free? Well, nothing in life is. Right. Well, you know what? Unless it's totally free, my marketing budget's already spoken for the year. But I hope you have a great day. And they'll go, click. Okay. It's just a quick way to wrap things up and you're still being polite. Let's go back to geo-marketing and farming. This is important. This is so important. Determine a small area to cover first. I started by just doing my immediate neighborhood. And then I kept building and I kept building, right? And yeah, your neighborhood.
Yeah.
You reach out to the other realtors on the
Yeah,
area.
exactly. It's great.
But you know, you
Beautiful
go-
thing of living in our spot and no beautiful living.
But that was just me. This is you determine the small area to cover first. Determine what budget works. Okay, determine how many touches you want to have in your target area. In other words, how many times you want to say, hey, I'm still over here. When you're ready, and knowing that you're waving your hands like crazy and they don't see you. And you're saying the same thing month after month, they don't see you, except for the person that wants to do something. All of a sudden they'll go, oh, wow, that's great. Look, he's got some marketing about this, and you've done the same thing for 16 months. But
Like, God, this guy's getting annoying, but
There it
it's
is.
great.
no, most of them don't even, none of them, most people don't even see it. Until they need
Yeah.
it, they don't see that marketing.
That's very true,
Oh,
very true.
They just, poof,
That's funny.
yeah, it's blinders.
Cause you throw away the home magazine, you
why
throw
is-
away all this stuff, and
all
then
the stuff.
then you're like, oh, blinds.
Oh,
No, I
yeah.
was thinking about blinds.
Oh,
Right.
There's my taxes.
That's the way it works. Oh, I want to sell. Okay, here we go. So why spend your money on a community that has a low turnover rate? This is amazing to me. How many agents will just market an area because it's $5 homes? Super. How many of them sell?
Mhm.
I'd rather sell 50, $400,000 homes
Yeah.
than 10 million plus dollar homes.
Yeah.
It's quicker, it's more consistent income, and you know it's coming because now you're hitting a huge pool in the market too, instead of this itty bitty little group that keeps growing in Florida. But anyway,
Yeah.
and they have boats that are more expensive than that. But anyway, know the inventory in your target area. Again, back to me being on a car lot. If I go and I literally, if I go in and the sales agent or salesman that talks to me doesn't know his inventory, I'll excuse myself and I'll go talk to the manager and I'll say, hey, can you put me with an agent that might know your inventory or a salesman that knows your inventory?
Hmm.
This guy's very nice, but I can't work with him.
Hmm.
That drives me crazy. And honestly, I think that's gonna help this guy. Because he's either going to stay in business and do what's right and study, or he's gonna get out of the business because he doesn't know what the heck he's doing.
Mhm.
And why let him beat his head against the wall? But that's me. So you gotta know your inventory. Same thing with us in Lakewood Ranch. I need to do another tour of Lakewood Ranch because I'm now noticing there are more communities I haven't been in. It's like, oh my gosh, they're still building fast, guys. It's and it's just amazing to me. And then create your own personal marketing plan, including, all of those things where we have our universal sales propositions, our what makes you special things. Why are you different? Do you know, your elevator speech stuff? It should all go into these things. Of course, if you're doing a postcard, that's personal marketing also, but it's a smaller version, right? So on my personal marketing on these, since I am still selling and it's fun, what I put out there is 5-star, 2023, but it's actually been like 15 years now. Oh my gosh. But very, very little about it, but it's there. And then just, hey, no gimmicks, just talk to me. Because I've tried the gimmick stuff that are taught by so many of the tutors, whatever you want to call them, that are making money, telling people how to spend their money and that they will get business and they're coaching them right out of business. It's amazing. But some of the people will knock it out of the park doing it. I understand that. If you have a deep enough pocket and you market enough, you'll get a bunch of business. It works. There's no doubt about it. Just look at what's going on in our world today with politics again. Stay away, Ken. Anyway, so you create your personal marketing plan. So plans can include a number of different approaches, right? I stand firm on old school. I believe in hand, meeting people, create a sphere of influence. You have a sphere of influence. And target, it's your target market. And if you don't target a market, you're suddenly this itty bitty fish in a great big ocean. You're just a piece of bait. If you target a small area and you're working it and you start selling in that community and you can sell, look, say, you're meeting with somebody, it's like you and me going on a listing appointment. This guy give me $100,000 more. No, he says he can't.
Mhm.
Here's what the numbers say. I did my homework. And not only that, I've sold more in this.
And I'm not trying to sell you. 'Cause
Right.
That's what's funny, is
Right.
you're actually,
Mhm.
I'm trying to help you.
Right.
I'm literally not even trying to sell myself to you.
And the number's not about me. It's what does the market say?
Mhm.
And the market will speak. So then, you create these things and you explain it to them. But if you're the professional in that area and you're perceived as such as you should be, we're gonna listen to you usually. There are those that get sold on the idea, still worth a shot, isn't it? And, so if you see them going down that trail, you can of course say, hey, this is what I believe it's going to sell for. If you want to start a little higher, that makes sense, and we just need to agree ahead of time that in 10 days, if you don't have showings that are consistent and certainly no offers, we're gonna drop this more to the range that I think it should be in. Does that sound fair? So work with them, help them, right? So how are you gonna farm your market? You've got to decide these things, and you know the answer to that, right? What's the answer? How are you gonna farm? How are you gonna farm an area? How are you gonna work a geo area? What are you gonna do? Whatever you're willing to do consistently. Yeah, that's right. So, right now on the postcards things, I'm in for a year on doing that again.
And you're designing it and everything too, or are they doing all of that?
They do all of that, but yet I tweak the whole thing on them repeatedly until it's what I like. But I also, in my farm area, I walk my dog. That seems like, well, of course you do. However, what easier way to stop and talk to people?
Right.
People want to talk. Most do. Depends on where they're from, but most do. Okay. Digital marketing. We're going to leave most of this to Joey, but you can even have a personal website. There's nothing wrong with that. It just needs to point to the brokerage, but it should be all about you, right? So it just needs to include our stuff, but it should be all about you. Social media, same thing. You should have your own. You should include Elements Realty, but it should be all about you. How about the reviews? We've talked about this. I'm behind on this still too, Joey, but I'm catching up. I love sharing my failures. I try, but then I get soaked up into sales and everything.
And then I black out. I don't know what happened.
Then it's like, so much. I'm paying for that. But, so I had done a terrible job on getting my reviews, and people have gone on and reviewed me on Google and various things without my asking. What I have found is the ones I ask do it 99% of the time. The ones that don't go, I don't know what to write. Write it for me and send it to me and I'll send that. And I'm like, we can do. So, it's nice to have a bunch of canned ones that you can just email out to somebody, short and sweet. That applies to them. And get them to do it. I was going through a divorce. I had a tear in my eye. He saved me. Okay. Those are nice to have a couple of. He was willing to work with me and listen to me. Perfect. How about I was in a hurry, business moved me, and I needed a house now. He dropped everything, or she dropped everything, and came and worked with me and found the house I wanted. I got to sign on it that day. It's what I was looking for. Driver personality, right? Man, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was working like crazy, and I needed more data on the communities, and he sent me each community that I was interested in, all the homes that were active, pending, and sold in those areas, what the average prices of sales were going for. What kind of personality is that?
Analytical.
Yeah, it's very analytical. And so it's important that we recognize who we're working for, right? That's all part of marketing. We need to know who it is. If we can't tell by the first few sentences, typically who somebody is, we're going to have a hard time marketing to them. That's why it's much easier face to face. You can see it. Somebody on the phone, sometimes you can understand, sometimes they're just excited or they've got something going on. And sometimes, you even lose them because they tell you one thing on the phone and you anticipate they only want to hear from you maybe once a month or so. They've got to sell their home up north and they didn't want a referral on that. They're going to be coming down here. And then you find out they're working with another realtor here now because you weren't communicating with them, and you go, okay, what happens? You can also work your best with somebody and be working on resale homes, and they just walk over to a builder on a weekend and go, great, where do I sign? You're out of the loop. You need to make sure, and as we're doing our marketing, that we let people know how it works, right? How about just networking? This is, to me, the biggest. This is where my business comes from. I am a networker. I love people. I'm not one of those that says, I love real estate, just hate people. That's not me. I love people, and real estate's fun because I love houses. I love construction. So how about just volunteering? Volunteer at a soup kitchen. Do something. Get out there. Disaster relief, go help. Wear a shirt. If you don't have a shirt, get one. Go to Markville. Have them make one that's got bigger writing on it of some sort that says who you are and what you're doing. That's important.
Make something fun.
Yeah, small business network groups, they're all over the place. From the county groups to the, what's the other one, the commission? I'm gonna do this a few times today, okay, can't come out with it. But, downtown Bradenton, there's a small business group. Meets at like 6 AM or 6:30 AM at one of the coffee shops down there. It's like, that sounds to me like something Chris might go to. Not me, but, you know, it's some fun stuff. Sabas goes to one like that. How about your church? I'm not saying, like I see on a lot of stuff where it's like, go join a church and that's why you're there, your network. No, but if you already are a member of a church and that's something you, believe in, which obviously we do, it's, why would you not talk to your friends, outside of church about what you do? I disagree with people that come into church and start talking about business or have checks that go back and forth. Then you know why they're there and, they're missing the point. How about just recreation groups? Like to play paddleball, like to do something? There you go.
Pickleball.
Pickleball. I just got a pickleball paddle, for Father's Day. Yeah.
Hey.
And I put et cetera, because the networking groups are like, all you have to do is Google networking groups Bradenton. Zoom.
Yeah.
And pick
Choose
some you like.
one.
Right.
Choose
Do you-
one.
Do you like mountain bike? You
Yeah.
know, and the thing is, a lot of the local churches have these same things where there's small groups. And so you get to know those people more intimately. It's great. And of course, they're gonna talk about business, what they do, their families and how they're doing, as they should, right? So networking is important, but why not be actively involved in our communities, guys? Okay, thought for the day. The teacher who is indeed wise does not bid you to enter the house of his wisdom, but rather leads you to the threshold of your mind. I like that. Because you gotta think about what you're doing, and that's the only way you're going to do it well. It's kind of the same theory of lead a horse to water, right?